Slide the paper into the gap next to the first number, pressing it down as you slowly turn the wheel. You see, each wheel has a notch inside, so the paper will suddenly slide down further once you reach it. Then turn it to the number opposite of the one facing up. This will turn the notch down and give you the right number for the combination. Repeat the whole process for each wheel until you have all the right numbers, lining up the notches and allowing you to open the lock. He was pooping so hard that a blood vessel suddenly burst inside his brain, and both sides of his head exploded with pain. He collapsed to the floor and woke up in the hospital. But when he looked out the window, he saw numbers growing from a tree. Then he started speaking in rhyme and became obsessed with writing and painting. Now, before the stroke, he had never cared about art, but doctors think the stroke damaged some parts of his brain while removing filters that normally shape how we see the world. So he spent years writing poetry, creating paintings and sculptures, and trying to understand his new mind. If you were bit by a tick, which was bitten by another tick, could they keep going, making an infinite chain of ticks drinking each other's blood? Well, starving ticks can feed off of other ones, but ticks store blood in a stretchy sac instead of moving it through vessels. So by the fourth link, the blood is barely moving, so there's almost nothing left to suck, meaning they would quickly let go, which would break your chain. Grab the heaviest rock you can lift and drop it on the coconut. Repeat this until cracks start to form along the fibers. Then flip it upside down and do the same to the bottom, before peeling it apart with your hands. Next, find the 3 dots on the coconut that look like a face. Follow the eyes to find the ridge along the coconut shell and hold it so it points outwards. Finally, slam the middle of the ridge onto a sharp rock, turning it for each hit until you split the coconut in half for a tasty drink. He placed the bicycle on the ground before placing his foot on the pedal, trying to ride it. You see, he had cut each metal piece himself, attaching tiny pedals to small cranks, and screwing the pieces together into a bicycle. When he was done, it was only 3.3 inches long, 10 times smaller than a kid's bike, meaning the smallest shift in his weight would send him tipping over. Yet he spent countless hours training to ride it, pressing the pedals with the balls of his feet just enough to keep the chain moving without losing balance, until it finally worked and he achieved a world record. As you push down, it turns a large gear inside, which causes a smaller gear to spin. That smaller gear drives a coil of wire between magnets, and that motion creates an electrical current, turning just the motion of your hand into a quick burst of electricity. And when the lever reaches the bottom, it pushes a wedge into a metal plate, closing the circuit. The electricity suddenly rushes into 2 contact points and through the wire, letting you detonate a building without batteries. She couldn't stand her husband anymore, so she took a gun and shot him 6 times in the chest. But during the autopsy, the police learned that the man had actually had a heart attack moments earlier, meaning he died before she even shot him. Because he was already dead, could she still be charged with murder? Now, this is actually a common question on the bar exam, and the answer is that you can't kill someone who's already dead. But she still tried to kill him, so she would be charged with attempted murder. Every 26 seconds, the Earth makes a tiny shake. You can't feel it, but seismic machines can. And for decades, scientists tried to figure out where it came from. Some think it's caused by underwater ocean waves, which hit the shallow edge of the continent and vibrate it like a drum. Others think it's the rumbling of a nearby volcano. But some people actually believe this proves the Earth is flat, and that the pulse comes from the machinery that holds up the sky. He had strung a piano wire between two trees, setting traps to guard his illegal crops hidden deep in the woods. Then, weeks later, he sped through the forest on his quad bike, forgetting that he had set those traps. And the almost invisible wire caught him directly across the throat as he was violently thrown backwards. Hikers discovered his lifeless body slumped beneath the trap, and police later found even more hidden traps, all set by him to protect his illegal crops.